How's it going, guys? And welcome back to another edition of the Kick Report. I wanted to start off by saying, first of all, I'm so sorry for the latency and the lag and getting another video out to you guys. I just recently started school and basketball is about to start back up. And for those who don't know, I do play in college. So it's a big transition, and especially being at a new school. So I appreciate you guys for all kind of sticking in, and we've been growing and gaining a few subscribers, and I'm tremendously appreciative of that. But for this video, I was gonna have it as like an initial review of the Jaw 3, but I know I've kind of waited so long that I kind of wanted to mesh it all together with some other sneaker news information and stuff that is coming out. So first, we're gonna talk about the Jaw 3s. So it's not news. These have been out for a couple weeks now. I believe 2 colorways are out now. And all right, so I'm editing this in post, and I actually was able to see that the Jaw 3 actually dropped another colorway called the Channel 12, which is like a two-tone type of colorway, which is honestly pretty different, expected for the Jaw 2 line. But anyways, back to your regularly scheduled programming. So far people are loving them. Me personally, I love the way the shoe looks. It's gonna be like at Nike's median price tag line, so I believe it's gonna be at that 130 mark. If I'm wrong, I'll throw a little tag up, but almost like filling the role of the PG lines, and I'm a sucker for the PGs, so it's kind of unfortunate that they went away, but I guess these are supposed to be really good, so I guess I'll take them. So for the cushion setup, it's the cushion, not the cushion line, excuse me, it's the Zoom X full length, and I'm super interested on how this is going to perform. Now in this footage, you're going to see me holding the grade school version and the adult version of the shoe. And for starters, the grade school version is very malleable. Like, I can basically press my thumb into the heel or the forefoot of the shoe, and the whole shoe bends, which is like really interesting. I could do it a little bit with the adult pair, but that's just something that off rip, I'm expecting this cushion setup to be super, super nice. Usually they throw Zoom X in like their nicer shoes. I believe the Vomero 18s have them, and a whole bunch of top end Nike shoes will have them. So it is a little alarming to see it in a shoe that's $130 or $120, however much it is. So that is something I would love to know. Is just like, is it compromised? Is Nike dumbing down or giving us a more diluted version of their Zoom X just to be able to throw it in a basketball shoe? Just because we see them in the GT Cut 3s. So that's something that is to monitor, especially with these. But, for a line like Jaws, I'm expecting big things for it. So moving on into the materials. Now this shoe, and like the materials and design of the shoe, it is loud and it is proud, and I love it. I love what Nike has done here. They made a shoe that almost caters to Jaw's personality, a louder type of guy who's not afraid to show, he's not afraid to show his game or who he is as a person, and I love that for them. It's not a shoe that'll blend in, especially with these loud colors. The only shoe, even the gray colorway stands out. One thing that, I guess this is my old head, my unk speaking, so the one thing that kind of this shoe makes me think of is, if to those who remember the Kyrie 3s, and I'll throw a photo up for you, if you remember the Kyrie 3s, that they look almost like the nubs on them, it looks almost the exact same. Now you will notice that on the nubs for this, it's actually Jaw's logo, which is actually pretty cool. So that's a nice little detail in there, but it screams Kyrie 3 to me, especially because I actually like the Kyrie 3s. As for this shoe, it's another newer shoe that Nike's rolling out alongside the Sabrina 3 and the Freak 7s. So I expect it to honestly take up the majority market share in their newer lineup, mainly because I haven't heard much in terms of sales from the Sabrina 3s or the Zoom Freak 7s. I wasn't expecting the Zoom Freak 7s to really sell very well, but I believe the Jaw 3s, since a household name, Ja Morant, is much as you might not want to admit it, this shoe is going to sell just because of his name alone. The materials itself, holding the shoe, it was basic, but not subpar for a shoe that's at that $130 range. materials that'll honestly get you through. I noticed a little shank plate at the bottom of the shoe. All good details. Obviously, to those who don't know, the grade school version and the adult version are going to be they're not completely different, but they are going to be different in terms of the quality of the materials on them, just because they can make the grade school version of the shoe a lot cheaper than they can the adult version. And you'll see that kind of when I jump between, you'll notice kind of the difference in materials. Like the regular one or the grade school one doesn't even have the nubs on it. It's almost like a little plastic overlay instead of the nubs. So that's something to take a look at as well. As for the traction, again, it's a whole bunch of Ja logos. Really cool, really unique. But it is a softer rubber. I can't say just by feeling the shoe how good the compound is going to be. But if I had to guess, this is going to be a good. I wouldn't expect it to be good on dusty courts, but I would expect it to be excellent on clean courts, as any shoe should be. But good on okay courts and excellent on clean courts. So that's what my expectation is. I would not wear these outside though, as the rubber compound on the bottom is pretty soft. So from what I'm seeing so far, I definitely did my research. And as you know how long it took this video to get out, I definitely had a lot of time to do it. But I'm hearing great things about this shoe so far. As I was very salty that they took the PG line away when the Ja line came through, and I kind of used the Ja 3s as my scapegoat as to why the PG line went away. So that was why I didn't like the shoe as much, or I was inclined to not like the shoe. But I'm hearing really good things about it. I'm willing to put or to take credit when I'm wrong, and I think I'm wrong here. Not that I was expecting the shoe to flop, but I wasn't expecting it to do as well as people are saying it is. People are loving the Zoom X, and honestly, I see it as something that is going to take off in the future. So overall, I'm expecting really good things out of the Jaws. If I had to give it estimate grade, I'd estimate them at an 8.4 out of 10. I'm not expecting the shoe to be great, but I'm expecting a bit of a hiccup with the Zoom X transition into a cheaper shoe. But overall, I'm very excited to maybe get myself a pair of these and maybe test them out. Nike, holler at your boy. I'm still paying for these out of pocket. But here's for where the second part of the video is going to jump in. I know I took forever to get this one out, so I kind of just wanted to go over some things that I missed. So with that being said, let's move into the next segment of the sneaker news. I honestly, as you know, I've had a lot of time to get this video out, so I missed a couple of things. So I gathered some information and things that I may have not touched on recently, and I'm bringing them to you guys. And my first culprit is Anthony Edwards. Now, to those who don't know, Anthony Edwards did go on a tour, or like a little sneaker campaign. I don't know the exact term for it, but he did go over to China, and he did have a tour kind of with the people and kind of building his connection and fan base over in China, which is awesome. As China, their basketball scene is honestly truly underrated. Like, people don't really realize that a lot of the XDR shoes come from China, and that's why the outdoor technology is pushed for so greatly in the Americas, is because China has a lot of outdoor courts. So let's start with Anthony Edwards. So the AE2s, the first images, the leaks are coming out. So we got to see a blue, black, and cream colorway, as well as a red, almost like a tangerine and black colorway. And this shoe looks crazy. The design language, I honestly think the AE ones look a little bit better, but for the AE line as a whole, I'll throw the images on the screen, of course. If this is what the render, or what the shoe is going to look like when it comes out, he's setting the tone for a very crazy looking shoe. And I'm not against it per se. I like a crazier shoe, but I do like, if it's a crazier design shoe, I like it to be all one color, or like black preferably. But expecting big things from Adidas. As they're down issue 7s, they're actually really starting to turn a corner with the quality of the shoes that they're putting out. I'll have to tell you guys, I may have changed my mind of the Adizero Select 2.0, so be sure to catch a video from me about that, on how I came to that epiphany within the coming weeks. But yeah, expecting big things out of these AE2s. I believe their drop, if you look on the Adidas website, is not till December. Alright guys, I'm back again in post. Forgive me for the mic quality, but actually doing some more research, I believe I was wrong. There's actually a With Love colorway coming out in October, so way sooner than I thought, which is just a little under a month away. So I know they're gonna have some pretty cool colorways dropping with it, and I know they're slated to have some All-Star Weekend colorways as well, so super exciting news. I believe there's a all pink colorway coming out for the Hardens, and then they dropped I believe it's like burnt vanilla colorway for the Harden as well. So cool things going on there. So yeah, definitely Adidas is on the rise. Also, kind of just keeping my head above the water and kind of just seeing around what's going on in the shoe market. The Dame X's are like at an all-time low right now, so I would highly recommend copying a pair, especially because of the recent trend in Adidas shoes. I'm hearing, I believe it's Light Strike Pro in those. I have a couple teammates with the Dame X's, and they're a big fan. Those combined with the insole kind of, I guess, elevate that shoe. And for that $72 tagline, if you want to be different, if you want to be different, I'd go for an Adidas shoe, and you could do it for a great price at $72. But other than that, kind of just from what I'm seeing in the market, the A1s aren't doing super hot. I'm a big fan of the cushion setup of the Cushlon and the full length Cushlon. I'm honestly a big fan of that, and I don't think the A1s are a bad looking shoe either, but I think just because of there was a good rollout and they popped off when they first dropped, but a lot of people kind of shoved these to the back of the rotation. I'm not too sure. I mean, it's still at a good price. It's not like it was a super expensive shoe. Me personally, I'm a sucker for the high technologies, and I do love a good zoom unit, but definitely noticing some lacking sales. Speaking of lacking sales, the Zion 4s seem to be a flop. I was a lover of the Zion 3s. I thought it was a very good looking shoe, and I loved the Kobe-esque feel to it. I felt like that midsole, that almost the removable midsole in there. I was a big fan of it, although the grip was lacking, which is why I wasn't able to wear the shoe that much. But yeah, that's kind of my first jab at sneaker news. That's just kind of bringing some things from different parts of the internet, things that I've seen, things that I've picked up on, and kind of bringing it to you guys. So if you guys enjoyed what you heard today, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I'm always listening. I will be sure to kind of pick up my upload pace as I settle into things and get things going, but I'm glad to be back. But as always, I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Again, leave a comment down below if you guys want to see something different, or if you have a certain idea. I'm open to any and all suggestions. But as always, I appreciate you guys. You all take care. This has been The Kick Report.